Peoples of the worldwide federated internet, what's good? Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. You could be anywhere doing anything this Sunday morning, and you are joining me here on The Thinking, and I appreciate it. The United States is being pump faked, and we jumped. And we have an opportunity to get back on defense. The shot is not guaranteed to go in, but what will we do? It's a basketball reference. For those of you who watch basketball, you will understand that, and you will probably get a mental picture of what I'm talking about. Now, to my fellow listeners, fellow thinkers, people who are fans of Trump's politics, I am personally a fan of Trump's politics. If you do not like Donald Trump, that is never my argument. My argument is always, let's look at the things he's doing. That argument does not come from a standpoint of everything he does is right. There's a reason I lead with that, because not everything he does is right. No man is going to be right 100% of the time. There's a going theory that Donald Trump has been playing 4D chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Is that possible? Yes. There's a theory, for those of you who are familiar with a certain what is called conspiracy theory called QAnon. Is this QAnon thing possible? Absolutely. Is it true? Who knows? There is truth. The Lord Jesus Christ said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. So that is truth, unequivocally. In the book of Jeremiah, I know this is not my Bible podcast, but everything I think is informed by the Bible. The Bible says, cursed be the man that makes flesh his arm. Cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, whose heart departeth from the Lord. Trusting wholeheartedly in a man, in an institution of men, is a logical fallacy biblically. Nonetheless, that doesn't mean you can't be a fan of certain politicians. You can't be a fan of what they do politically. As I said, I'm a fan of President Trump's politics. I believe he has done a good job thus far. That does not mean he has done a perfect job, and that does not mean everything he has done has been right. So here's my contention. Here's my submission. Here's what I would ask everyone to think about. Even if Trump is playing 4D chess, even if this QAnon thing is reality, but you can believe it's reality with 100% assurance, but you have no proof of that. So, as I said, my 100% belief, faith, and confidence is in God. Everything else, I'm like, this is possible, but I'm skeptical. I'm going to need something. Okay, so what did I mean when I say the United States is being pump faked? We jumped and we have an opportunity to get back on defense because the shot is not guaranteed to go in. We are missing the mark when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. In American history, it has always been the case where when something is done, something new, whether we understand it or not, we understand the position we're in if we're not leading. Now, for those of you out there that are like, you're a believer, what are you talking about? Because I know some people think that as a believer, you can't want your country to be first, because the assumption, the false assumption is wanting your country to be first means you want every other country to fail. That is not the case. Whenever you get on a plane, when you get that briefing about putting on your oxygen mask, what do they tell you? secure your oxygen mask first before you attempt to help the person next to you. Because if you can't breathe, if you have no oxygen and you're struggling, how can you help someone else when you've not even helped yourself first? For the same reason, many people go broke. They come into money, they come into large sums of money, and instead of helping themselves, instead of getting themselves to the point where their money is making money and thus they're able to help someone else, they start giving away money. Free money here. They give money to this friend, to that friend, to this family member, to that family member, and next thing you know, they're broke and they have nothing. They didn't first build themselves up. They didn't first get their money to the point where their money is making money before they tried to help someone else. And now no one is helped. So I want my country to succeed, not because I want other countries to fail. This is the country I live in. You have a family. If you want your family to succeed, that doesn't mean you want other families to fail. You want to succeed. If you want to succeed, that doesn't mean you want other people to fail. You just want to succeed. Okay, so now that we got that out the way. In history, when the space race was on, now, whether you believe we actually went to the moon or not, that is irrelevant. If that's what you're focused on, if that's what you're tripped up on, you're missing a point. The point being is we understood the importance of the space race. We understood what it meant for another country to get a leap forward on this thing before we did. So you could argue, we didn't really go to space, but we at least spent enough money, if we didn't, to fool the rest of the world into thinking we were leading in this space. And this is partly credited for collapsing the Soviet Union. We made them spin ridiculously out of control. Now, again, that's why I say the argument of whether we actually went to the moon or not, that's irrelevant. The relevance is we understood the importance of leading in that space. And this is where the United States has been pump faked and we jumped. That shot is going up and we better get back on defense. Cryptocurrency comes out. It doesn't matter what you think about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is here to stay. If you've not been paying attention to the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin is going crazy. Now there's certain people who are what's called Bitcoin maximalists. Sometimes companies have what's called first mover advantage. Sometimes that first mover advantage doesn't give you the edge. For instance, i.e. Netflix, when it comes to streaming, when it comes to digitally streaming content, Netflix had first mover advantage. You could kind of argue that YouTube had first mover advantage, but it wasn't premium content. It was user created content on YouTube. So I don't really consider YouTube necessarily part of that same argument. But Netflix had first mover advantage, but they're not king of the hill. For the longest time, it was thought that Netflix was going to be king of the hill and they were going to dominate and be over everyone. But now there's other options. Netflix is still good, don't get me wrong, but there's other options. Some of these other options are offering a little bit better content. Netflix is still offering some great content. It's not going anywhere, but it's not king of the hill. So Bitcoin has first mover advantage. That doesn't mean Bitcoin moving forward is going to be guaranteed to be king of the hill. It's possible to be king of the hill. And I think many of these, now I'm not a financial dude. I've seen a bunch of these videos where people always say this is not financial advice, and this is not. I'm talking about the US government and how it was pump faked. China is not a free society. Nonetheless, China, of all countries, has a more liberal approach when it comes to cryptocurrency than the United States does. Why do you think that is? This is something that is not really talked about outside of the cryptocurrency space. People within the cryptocurrency space, if you follow any cryptocurrency channels, they're paying attention to this. They're keen. They're in on it. They know that China has a more liberal approach for a totalitarian government. They have a more liberal approach to cryptocurrency than the United States. Why do you think that is? Let's consider that. The cryptocurrency space is the space race and the internet age coming about circa 1994, 95, 96, all in one. It is this all in one. China understands that. The rest of the world understands that. I got interested in the cryptocurrency space back in, I want to say, 2017. I'm a latecomer. I'm late to the party. Nonetheless, I'm here. I say late. Many prognosticators say that. I know I've been using that word a lot. Sometime I get caught on words. My word of the month. Many prognosticators have stated that cryptocurrency is in its infancy, and anyone who gets on board now stands to make a lot of money long term. Now, with that being said, cryptocurrency is in its infancy, but the United States is not taking a lead role in this technological advancement. It's bothersome. Now, I know I'm going to a lot of places. I'm leading this to a point, so just follow me. China takes a more liberal approach. Many other countries take a more liberal approach. They give regulatory clarity so people can invest in cryptocurrency and move with freedom. When I got into the cryptocurrency space, I got on as many trading platforms as I could so I could pay attention to what was going on in the space, research blockchain technology, research what some of these coins do so I can kind of make my own assessment of what coins I believe would actually make it, that actually offer something legitimate to the populace at large. As time has gone on and the United States has become more stringent and totalitarian when it comes to cryptocurrency, a lot of cryptocurrency exchanges have barred people in the US from using these exchanges. Some of them have created exchanges specifically for the US, i.e. Binance, but there's many coins that are not sold on these exchanges. So while the whole rest of the world allows their population to get in on something, is it risky? Yes. But the United States is wholeheartedly becoming a nanny state. I don't need you to baby me. I understand, and I'm thankful for the US government, and I understand what the financial arm of the US government, quote unquote, is trying to do, but I wonder what's really going on. This is where Donald Trump comes in. You might think Donald Trump is playing 4D chess. You might think he's one of the greatest political tacticians in history. That may be true. But if you are naive enough to believe, I don't care if he has some intelligence organization behind him. I don't care if he has some of the greatest minds behind him. If you are naive in believing that he can't be deceived and his team can't be deceived and played, you yourself are extremely naive. Extremely naive. Like that's ridiculous. And this is an area where I believe that Trump is getting played and he's being lied to. Someone got in his ear and told him, sung to him all of the negative aspects of cryptocurrency. They sold him on this thing being terrible. So while the rest of the world gets on board, makes advancements, moves forward, allows their people to get in, people within the United States are being cut out. Cryptocurrency is risky. You can lose a lot of money. You can invest a lot and lose a lot, but life is risky. I don't need the government to be a nanny. None of us need that. We don't need the US government in every aspect of our life telling us what to do, trying to protect us from getting a boo-boo every time we fall. We don't need that. That's what's going on. Somehow somebody has convinced the financial arm of the US government that cryptocurrency is this boogeyman. The rest of the world pump faked us. So while everybody else is getting involved, everybody else is taking a more liberal approach, namely China, which I believe is our biggest enemy, right? A lot of people are got their eyes on Russia. Not that Russia isn't a problem, but China is our biggest enemy. So while China takes a more liberal approach toward cryptocurrency, which is, it's almost an oxymoron. The totalitarian government is taking a more liberal approach on something that we're taking a tyrannical view on. Pump faked. So what happens when the buying power, see, the buying power of the United States is not just within its government, it's also within its people. What happens when the buying power of the American people is stripped? That's what we have going on in the cryptocurrency space. Donald Trump got played. Look, Donald Trump has been played many times. You can believe he's playing 4D chess and he meant to get played. Look, we can argue those semantics all day long. The bottom line is there's many times he's gotten played. Hiring John Bolton was one of them. There's a lot of people that wanted Trump to get involved in more foreign wars, even though he didn't want to. He hired some of these people and they tried to move in that direction, and rightfully so. Eventually, he caught on and fired them. He shouldn't have hired these people in the first place. You can argue that, oh, he hired them to expose them and to look. You can believe all of that if you want. And I'm not saying that that might not be true. But if you are so naive that you believe that this man and his administration and whoever's behind him cannot be played, you are headed for a bad place, because this is one area where I believe he got played and a whole entire planet, namely China, pump faked us and we jumped. Now we can get back on defense and we can fix this. The cryptocurrency space is not going anywhere. That doesn't mean that any of the coins on the market right now are going to be the coins of the future. We don't know exactly where this space is going to go, but nonetheless, cryptocurrency is not going anywhere. What I was getting at is, as I got into the cryptocurrency space, more and more exchanges started cutting out US customers. So what did that do? Okay, so now all of these people in all of these other countries can get involved in all of these cryptocurrencies, and their people can get buying power, thus giving their country buying power. But what's being done in the US? Being cut out from all these exchanges, barred from buying this coin and that coin, all because the SEC is trying to protect us by removing us out of the space while everyone else is participating. Look, is it possible for the whole cryptocurrency sphere to collapse? Yes, it's possible. But they thought Bitcoin would collapse years ago. Many people within the financial community was blasting Bitcoin left and right. Where are those same people now? Those same people that blasted Bitcoin, that told you not to buy, have now made millions while you were cut out of the space, while you could have made millions, while you could have had life-changing income, but they convinced you not to invest because scary new thing while they invested. I think the whole world, nefarious actors that don't have our best interests in mind, are doing the same thing. And Donald Trump was pump faked. I know for some of my Trumpites, you don't want to hear that. You want to think that he has some 4D chess plan. No, he was just pump faked. It's that simple. Now, does he know that? Does the people behind him know that? With whatever time he has left, whatever is going to happen, is he seeking to fix that? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. But this is something that the United States definitely needs to fix. And we need to get back on defense before we lose this game. Y'all know what it is. Stay frosty, people.